You want a really simple example? I got a little app on my phone, which is a noise meter, because I did this piece of research on volume of noise. Anything over 60 decibels for thousands and thousands of years was loud enough to make us worry, right? Something like that might have been a branch breaking. That's something bigger, heavier, and hungry back behind us in the woods. So what happens naturally in our system is we get a spike of adrenaline over 60 decibels of noise, if that's going on around us. Well, if you wander around Vancouver, which is where I live, with a noise meter on your phone, you'll begin to notice that pretty much between 7:30 or 8 in the morning till about 11 at night, everything's above 60 decibels. So we are constantly being stressed out with these little adrenal shots, and that has our system running, kind of revving a little higher than we'd like to believe it is. And most people, until they get home and collapse in front of their sitcoms with their beer, or if they go and drop in at their yoga class, or there's really only a couple of hours where we're actually balancing or negating in any way that oxidative stress that goes on in our day-to-day lives.
So it's a continual all the time, stress, 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 all the...
Yeah, and that's why we tend to burn out a lot earlier than we should or need to. Stress in terms of oxidation also comes from toxins in our environment. So we're breathing in effluent, there's pollution, there's no doubt about it. Inhaling smog, boom, you get oxidative stress. Dealing with food, I mean, we already had a little bit of that conversation, but a lot of it oxidizes us, and that's something that we have as well. And then essentially there's a whole other category of things that we put into our mouth, including a large number of pharmaceuticals and other such items that, again, are highly acidic, highly oxidative. This really starts to become a little bit of a downward spiral when you look at the size of the lever. One of the favorite analogies I've been given about this is that there's this teeter-totter, there's this balance beam, and what you have is a damage and repair cycle. And our teeter-totter is sitting, when we're children, with a really high push up on the repair and a low little bit of damage. But as we age, as stress comes in, relationship, bills, work, pollution, all sorts of things, our repair cycle starts to diminish. One of the reasons it's pushed down is actually because of the stuff that we're unconsciously putting in our mouths, unconsciously breathing in, unconsciously dealing with in terms of our environment. But the other piece of it is all the stuff that we're not giving ourselves. And that's the thing. There's a lot of material. There's a lot of choices about water and nutrition, even breathing well, inhaling through the nose rather than the mouth. The nose is a natural filter. We can be taking actions to reduce the amount of damage that we're receiving on a day-to-day basis. And awareness is the first step to change. It's really all about becoming conscious in the first place and then picking your battles. You know, I love where I live. I tend to exercise out of the city. I do my highest cardio work as far away from Vancouver as I can, so I'm breathing in higher quality air while I'm doing it. Little things like that. Some of the other examples in terms of how you manage your stress. All these little pieces can be leveraged together in such a way that you can normalize, nominalize, or at the very least offset, if not create a win. I believe it's completely possible to create a win, but I'm willing to do the work to make it happen.
And you teach people how to do this, right?
I absolutely do. I educate them how to do it. I empower them how to do it. And the big piece that I work with is I teach them how to become discerning. Because you just want to have yourself in a situation where you're making conscious choices. That's all it is. It's okay to have that can of Coke once in a while. I personally, I'm done with soft drinks. But all you have to be willing to do is drink the 16 glasses of water. And you break even. Right? Like it's kind of like people dealing with their debt as well. Right? Like maybe you're not going to buy that car that you can't afford.